Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielsen and Hustler, powered by Coolbet Canada.
Welcome to another episode of The Lock Shop. Happy Monday. Nielsen and Huss back with you once again. Lock Shop brought to you by great partners at Coolbet on the Nielsen Media Coolbet Network. Thank you very much for being here. Huss, what's up, buddy? How's the weekend? How's Easter weekend for you?
The weekend was pretty good. Had a heck of a hockey game here with the Jets needing to keep their playoff hopes alive on Saturday night. So it should be a very interesting weekend, or week, I guess, next 3-4 days following the team, whether they can get in. And obviously, it was Masters weekend. I mean, it was a bit of a buzzkill having the tournament get ended for the day, basically as soon as the main TV coverage came on both Friday and Saturday. But it did give us a lot of bonus golf in the morning. And yesterday, we always think about Sunday at the Masters. We're going to book off the day to do it. Well, we pretty much had all day to check it out. And I do regret not jumping on John Rahm early on. I think you and I both got a little live action when it did seem like it was coming down to him and Brooks Koepka. But overall, I mean, an amazing tournament. We talked about the PGA Live stories behind it. And I'll tell you what, not that we ever saw him on television barely. Love him or hate him, Phil Mickelson finishing second was nuts. Of course, Brooks had a great tourney. It didn't finish well in the weekend. And there was the bad guy, Patrick Reed, there too. So, I mean, listen, I think it really did deliver. We had an amazing twosome of two incredible alphas going at it for Saturday and Sunday. And John Rahm, a very deserving green jacket winner.
You just laid out everything that we saw, and it was phenomenal. Like, the fact that Mickelson all of a sudden, I mean, he was outstanding on the back nine, coming through the way he did. It would have been something if both Rahm and Koepka had kind of come back to the pack. Because, like, for a brief moment when Phil put it in to be 8 under or whatever it was, I was like, oh, man, wouldn't it be something if it was like a playoff with Phil and Rahm? That would just be absolutely incredible. But overall, I mean, you couldn't ask for much more. I was super sick on Saturday, and I wasn't too great yesterday either. So I picked the right weekend. Like, if I'm going to be sick for one weekend of the year to have to lay on the couch, it's going to be that one, man. And it was outstanding. So overall, just I don't know how much more you could ask for from the Masters. That leaderboard was insane for a good stretch. Koepka falling apart. And then the Patrick Cantlay jokes that have popped up on it. It's perfect. It's absolutely amazing. I love it.
You know what? I think anyone that's watched baseball so far this year has realized what a benefit the pitch clock has been as far as speeding up the game and making it a little bit more watchable. If there's not an argument to be made for some sort of a more vigorous time limit for shots, Patrick Cantlay is it. He is a glacier, man. The guy is an absolute glacier out there. Vic Hovland was making his shots like with him 80 yards behind him. And then I'm actually now hearing that echo, Dusty.
Okay, just one second. I can fix that. Yeah, no problem. There we go. There you go, buddy. We're good. Should be echoing now.
All right.
Should be good, yeah.
Perfect. You were doing it as well. And then, I mean, the looks that Brooks and Rahm were giving from the tee as they waited on pretty much every single
death
hole.
stares.
I mean, I don't know whether that was, your Saturday afternoon at your local Muni when they're just putting on as many groups as they can, or whether it was the final round of the Masters. But overall, it was great. You had a nice weekend, too, cashing a few tickets.
Actually, yeah, I did. I had a little 4-gamer, 2 NBA games on Friday night, combined with 2 NHL games on Saturday, and that cashed, so that was nice. And then, look, every single team in the National Hockey League played on Saturday, so you had to do something of significance. So I put together a nice little 7-gamer, and I sweated it a bit. 2 of the games I had money line ended up going to overtime or shootout, but teams came through for me. So yeah, I cast a 7-gamer, which would usually kind of headline things, but one of your guys on Winnipeg Sports Talk, this is unbelievable.
Well, and our guy Slobo, he's a big lock shopper too. And he sent me a message saying I should cut you guys. I got into this and have been playing Cool Bet because of you and Dusty. So may have to cut you in on it. And I said, you can get me a beer at a Bomber game this summer. Well, that'll be fine. But check this out. This is a 12-gamer from our guy Slovo on the weekend. He had Sabres money line over the Hurricanes. He had Wild money line over the Blues. He had Bruins money line over the Devils. He had the Leafs puck line against the Habs.
Got it.
Puck line against the Predators. Islanders puck line against the Flyers. Stars money line against Vegas. Kraken puck line against the Blackhawks. The over 5 in the Ducks Coyotes game. Penguins puck line against Detroit. Oilers puck line against the Sharks. And Rangers puck line against the Blue Jackets. If you weren't counting, that's 12 games, including, I think, 5 or 6 puck lines. Slobo put $3 on that bet and won $5,008. I mean, that is the one of the craziest parlays I've actually ever seen from a lock shop or WST.
That's amazing.
12 games. And I mean, it wasn't just all chalky parlays. I mean, hitting a bunch of puck lines in there. I mean, a straight up underdog with Buffalo at home to Carolina.
Yeah.
Anyway, Slobo, you're an inspiration, my friend. Turning $3 into $5K with one simple ticket. Was mentioning to Patty and Jake back at the Cool Bet shop about this one, and they were just, you have got to be kidding me. I think everyone says that when they hear that, but shout out to Slobo. Great to see a lock shopper bang out a monster on the busiest day in NHL history.
Yeah, Slobo? Is it Slobo?
Slobo, yep.
Now, is that a nickname, or is that like his last name, or what's where'd he get Slobo from? Do you know?
I think it's a shortened version of his last name.
Okay, that would make sense then. Yeah, Slobovsky or something like that. Like,
Kevin.
yeah, Slobodian maybe. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, anyways, our guy
congratulations. That's a once in a lifetime thing. Like, you're not going to roll out a bunch of 12 gamers very often, man. So remember that weekend. He'll always remember that Easter weekend, right? Like,
well, hey, John Rahm might win another green jacket. I'm not sure we'll see another ticket like that in the lock shop for a while, but I would love to be wrong. That was that was really awesome.
pretty busy Monday in the National Hockey League tonight as well. Big slate. We've got an exclusive that's plus 450. We'll lay that out for you in just a moment as well. But Huss, let's slide on into our puck picks here today. And yeah, there's one game that we're both on in different fashion. I think we both really like it. It's also going to be on that exclusive that we're going to lay out for you as well. But Huss, with lots of games to choose from, some of these games having a lot of significance. What are you looking at here? What are you going with?
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll start off with this Minnesota game. I mean, the Wild right now are hoping to do a couple things, finish as high as they can and potentially miss out on playing the Avalanche in the first round. The Central Division's very tight. You've got Colorado, you've got Dallas, you've got Minnesota. They were all tied heading into the weekend. Colorado's had a couple wins. So there's 2 points from first to second, 2 points from second to third. Minnesota would really love to at least get into that second spot, have home ice in the first round, and potentially miss the Colorado Avalanche. So, Alex, they have one of those favorable matchups, and we've talked a lot about Chicago. I mean, with the exception of that win last week in Calgary, the Blackhawks have been just getting waxed night in and night out. I think the Wild, both preparing for the playoffs and needing the result tonight, will be all over them. Love them at mine. And this number's actually come down a little bit. I think it was about minus 114 or so originally. It's minus 103 now. The Wild puck line to win by 2. And then I'm going to really focus in on 2 other games that are must wins for the teams that are right now holding down the final playoff spots in the Eastern Conference. You've got Florida and the Islanders tied 1 point up on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Thing about the Penguins is that they have a couple games coming up, I believe, against Chicago and Columbus.
Ooh.
So both Florida and the Islanders have to assume that Pittsburgh is going to win both of those games, which means they have absolutely no wiggle room tonight. Islanders have been playing really well right now. They've got the Capitals, who are into next year's territory. That one's come up a little bit right now to minus 164. But I like the Islanders' money line. They find a way to get things done. And then I wanted to add a third game in here. And, I have been burned before on the Florida Panthers this season. But I think that where they're at, how far they've come back to get to this point, and the fact that the Leafs right now are really just playing for nothing. I mean, heck, they had their ATO goalie in on the weekend. They're doing a bunch of things for their cap to get Matthew Nyes in. I think the Panthers get it done at home tonight. So we're going to add that into the ticket. That one is minus 139. I don't mind just the Minnesota Islanders play as well, but I think we're going to add the Panthers in. That one comes up to plus 446. But as you mentioned and teased, if the Florida game makes you a little nervous, hang tight because we've got a couple of those plays in on our Lock Shop exclusive, which is a plus 450 that I really, really like.
Yeah, and we'll get to that here in just a second. I'm on that Minnesota game as well. You laid out all the reasons that you're on it on the puck line. I'm going to play it a little bit safer because I'm going to throw it in this parlay. I don't mind it at minus 154 on its own anyway. But yeah, Minnesota in regulation tonight. Also in regulation, Los Angeles Kings. They might not be within striking distance necessarily of tracking down the Oil at this point, but Seattle is knocking on the door right now. So if the Kings, I don't know what the Kings want to do in that situation. The Oilers have been the hottest team in the league for the last 2 months. If you stay where you are, you're probably going to get them. If you let Seattle slide up and take that spot, then you're going to have to deal with Colorado or Vegas, which is not ideal really anyway either. So I thought about the money line here. I'd probably feel a little bit better about that, but I wanted a game that I totally feel fine with playing on its own value-wise. So I'm going to take the Kings in regulation against a Canucks team that obviously has played better over the last month and a half. I understand that. But the Kings are a really good hockey team. They need this win in the worst of ways. I think they're going to get it done tonight at home. And Seattle will be playing at the same time of them. I mean, if you do believe in scoreboard watching or any of that stuff. The Kings in regulation tonight at minus 112. And then Calgary-Nashville, obviously a big game tonight between these two clubs. I'm going to take the under 6.5 at minus 154. Huss, you just got to look at the Nashville Predators. I mean, wouldn't surprise you see another under with the Preds, I would think, after the game that they played against the Winnipeg Jets.
I love this pick when you sent it in for a couple of reasons. I mean, number one, UC Saros has been out of his mind. I mean, they had no business keeping that game as close as they did against Winnipeg on Saturday. But Saros is just that good right now. And I mean, Calgary's sort of been up and down. And the other thing is Nashville doesn't really have a whole lot of pop right now in their offense. I mean, Yossi was out. Philip Forsberg is out. I mean, it's amazing that they've come as far as they have with the trades that they made and the guys that have been out of the lineup. But I love this one right now. I mean, I think Saros keeps them in the game. I don't expect them to score very much. I mean, if you wanted to get aggressive, you could even take that one lower. But as far as for our purposes of this one, I think it's a perfect another addition to the exclusive. And just one more thing before we get to that. Speaking of the Kings have lost 3 in a row. Seattle's 2 back with a game in hand. And let's not forget that whoever finishes lower between those two clubs is going to in all likelihood get the Colorado Avalanche in the first round.
Yeah.
So that, listen, I mean, Edmonton, not a great, I mean,
either way, you're in a tough spot there, right? Like,
for sure. But there's something tells me about the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, I think the lack of, and the familiarity between the Kings and Oilers probably be a better matchup than having to go on the road to play the defending Stanley Cup champs who are getting healthy right now. So anyways, I do like that Kings pick, and I think they're too good to lose 4 in a row at this point. They got to get it together coming down. But yeah, we've sort of combined a couple picks from mine, and of course the Calgary Nashville under 6.5. And if you go over into the exclusives right now over at CoolBet, the Lock Shop Partner Parlay is the first thing up there. Islanders to win, Minnesota Wild minus 1.5, and Flames Preds under 6.5. And that one's up at plus 450. So, it's not quite a 1,700 to 112 gamer like Slovo, but plus 450. I'm going to ride with that one tonight as well.
I will say this. The next time, hopefully the NHL does this once a year, but the next time they schedule all 32 teams on the same day, Huss, Lock Shop will put together a 12-gamer. and you can ride with us on a 12 gamer, and we could all retire early. Like let's go get that. That would be good. So yeah, go find that, as Huss said, the Lock Shop exclusives. Just go to exclusives, click on the Lock Shop partner parlay. Islanders to win, Wild -1.5, and the Flames Preds under 6.5. That line was at 6 yesterday. It's moved to 5.5. Yeah, still bumped it up to 6.5 to take the under on that side of it. But if you want to get it straight up, I think I saw it at 5.5 this morning. Now, Major League Baseball, Huss, you have something on this. I've got a quick one, just quickly on mine. Angels, it's the only one I've got in my card already today. Angels and Mariners on a parlay at +139. So Angels and Mariners, the Angels going up against the Nats, Seattle on the road against the Cubbies. You play those two together just to win, and it's +139. So that's all I've got on the card today for Major League Baseball action. But where are you going?
You know what? I'm going to give a nod to our old pal Chris Abbott, because Abbott would also often bitch about the shitty bullpens that were killing his bets. And I was thinking about him this weekend when that happened on a couple of occasions. I'm actually going to go with the first 5 innings money line. And I'm going to pick a couple starting pitchers that I like, that if they do their job through the first 5, we should have a winner, and we don't have to worry about it getting blown up by the bullpen later on, like happened to Ohtani on opening day. I'm still mad about that, to be honest with you. But let's focus on the positive here. Marlins at the Phillies, both teams pretty pedestrian starts, 4-6 versus 3-6. However, last year's Cy Young Award winner, Sandy Alcantara, one of the most electric pitchers in the game, is on the bump for the Marlins, going up against Strom for the Phillies. The line in this game is -130, but I'm going to play the first 5, which is a little bit less. It's 137 is the number for the Marlins.
Not much of a difference, right? Yeah.
No, it's not that much. As I said, it takes out that bullpen. So we got Marlins first 5 money line -137. And then that Mariners game that you had talked about, Luis Castillo was just a stud in first game out, getting the win, no earned runs against. He's going up against Drew Smiley, who got absolutely rocked early on. I think the Marlins are a strong team. Cubs, not so much. So that Mariners first 5 money line is -154. So I'm going to put those two together and get a +185 parlay for just for a little fun side action on baseball.
It's nice to have baseball back, right? It's nice to have baseball back just for Lock Shop purposes. Yeah.
Perfect. Head out to 316 at the intermission, grab a beer, check what's going on in the baseball games, and then get back to sweating out this hockey team that's taking years off our lives, going up against James Reimer and the San Jose Sharks tonight. So yeah, it should be good. And this is going to be a weird week. I'm going to be traveling tomorrow.
Yes.
So we'll hook up probably on Wednesday. I'll still be firing out daily picks. Make sure you're following the Coolbet Canada Twitter and Instagram feed to get those as well. And then I believe, is it the Heritage this week?
It's the Heritage this week. Yeah. So Wednesday we'll have a big golf show. And then speaking of golf, I'm gone from Thursday to Monday. I'm going on a golf trip to Victoria, kind of as sort of like time to get away before I get super busy with CFL again and stuff. So I think on Tuesday, what I might do on Tuesday is just drop like an audio episode on the podcast feed with just like some plays and stuff. You could even fire me a couple of picks if you want. I can pass them along, just straight up podcast. So let's do that on Tuesday, and then we'll have an episode on Wednesday, get you ready for golf, then probably quiet into the weekend. But Huss, you're going to be churning out content on the weekend, and obviously in Winnipeg Sports Talk, you'll be able to have some stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be all over. And, of course, the playoffs begin on Monday. So
yes, they do,
one thing we'll tell you, normally we'd probably do a big playoff episode. We'll see if we can figure out some way to at least get some content out.
We'll get something up somehow, yeah.
You're following the Lock Shop at Lock Shop Bets on Twitter. We'll certainly throw out some series picks and some futures before the puck drops. And, come next Tuesday when we're back at it, we'll have a full slate of playoff games every night for the better part of the next month. Great time to be a fan and great time to be a lock shopper. Although Slobo gets Lock Shopper of the Week after his $5,000 ticket off a $3 bet. Still can't believe that.
Somebody on YouTube was saying Slobo needs his own show. And when you hit a 12 gamer, you need your own show. That's something that'll certainly happen. So watch the podcast feed tomorrow. I'll put something up. I'll pass along Hustler's picks. We'll get some of my picks out there on the podcast only. So it'll be audio exclusive tomorrow on the podcast feed. Wednesday we'll have our picks for the Heritage and be locked and loaded there as well. And hey, best of luck in a busy night in the National Hockey League tonight, everybody. Huss, safe travels tomorrow, man. And we'll connect on Wednesday.
Hey, you got it. Hey, just quickly before we go, I meant to ask you this. NBA, crazy end to the regular season. There's so much weird shit going on in that league right now.
Yeah.
But we do have the play-in games. And I guess Hawks Heat goes tomorrow, and your Lakers and Timberwolves are tomorrow. If you can fire a pick for that one on it. And then the Raptors would be Wednesday, and that's the 9-10 game. So they have to beat the Bulls, and then we'll get the loser of the Heat Hawks to try to at least advance in. And then they would get, I guess, the Milwaukee Bucks. Welcome to the playoffs. Here you go. Meet Giannis.
Yeah, a little bit more difficult coming out of that East play-in than the West play-in, I think, with the way that league's gone so far. I think the early, on that audio episode, just the audio episode tomorrow, I'll have some plays for you. I think my early lean would be I think I saw, I don't know, do you have the NBA slate up right now over at Coolbet?
Yeah.
What's that line in that Lakers game?
7 for the Lakers.
Yeah, see, and I think I'd be on the T-Wolves +7. I've watched the Lakers enough to know that they like this. This is going to stress me out as a Lakers fan. So I think the T-Wolves are talented. I know they're going to be missing a few. Did you see the one member of the Timberwolves break his hand at halftime heading to the room by punching the wall, and he's going to be out? Just ridiculous.
And that wasn't even the craziest thing that happened in the game.
Rudy Gobert. Yeah,
took a swing at Kyle Anderson, I think his name is, and was basically told to go home.
Yeah.
Between that, what's happened with the Dallas Mavericks, everything is
never a shortage of drama in the association, buddy. It's always wild. Yeah. So watch for those picks tomorrow as well. And if Huss has anything on that, he'll fire them over and I'll pass them along.
Futures are up. Yeah, the futures are up right now. Okay. In case you're wondering, I was looking for this last night. It wasn't up yet. It's up now. Bucks are the favorite to win the NBA championship at +275, and they're +120 to win the East. Celtics are next. Suns are the top Western Conference team at +425. Then Golden State, 10-1 on the Nuggets and the Sixers. The Lakers, despite their season, I mean, 12-1. Still a lot of people believe in LeBron. Wouldn't that be something? Lakers are +625 to win the West. And hey, listen, if you believe in the Raptors, you think they can win 2 games and then run through the East, they're 125-1. That's probably still not enough. Not
even sure I'd sprinkle that. And we sprinkle everything in the lock shop, but I don't think I could get away with that one. So yeah, it's exciting. NBA playoffs already starting. NHL playoffs to follow next week. April, man, it's the best time of year. Cannot wait to continue it. Great time at the Masters. That was absolutely phenomenal stuff as well. Huss, get ready for curling, buddy. And I'm sure we'll set that up on Wednesday as well, man. We'll talk to you then.
You got it. Take it easy.